Well, Herman is asking about Sasol. Now, can you remember Sasol at one point in time was a 25 Rand share? I know nobody will believe it, but let's just show you how things can change. I mean, look at this. I mean, the share went down and down and down, and there you are. I just want to show you what happened. I mean, there was the low. In actual fact, I've got a friend of mine that bought the share, and this share just fell off the cliff. There you are. Look at that. I mean, can you believe it? There you are. 22 Rand 57 was the low. Now suddenly everybody wants to buy Sasol, and the reason why, the oil price is just so high, and everybody just believes that Sasol is the next best thing. And there you are. Let's have a look. And I just want to show you here. I mean, look at this momentum. You can take it from 2022. It is a solid performer. I mean, first of all, it was a dog of the market. Now it is a star of the market. But let's have a look. If I look at Sasol, only thing that worries me is the following. And although the share price looks absolutely brilliant on a chart, it tells me that there is an ugly rising wedge developing. Now, of course, a rising wedge is nothing else than a warning formation. And a rising wedge usually tells you that there's some informed sellers selling the share into strength. And remember, everybody believes that the oil price can just go up. That's not always the case. The oil price can maybe at some point in time also start to drop. So let's have a look here. Where will be my first warning around the share? And there's the little level. Now, if it breaks below 416.85, now it's now 423, so there's nothing wrong. That's about 8 Rand from here. If it drops below 416, that will be my first lower high. I mean, that will just tell you that there's maybe some loss of momentum. But on the other hand, if the share starts to go above 433.37, it can maybe go to 450. But for me personally, I think, Mohammed, it's maybe a little bit too late just to chase the share, unless you're a momentum trader. And I mean, commodities had a brilliant 2 years. And don't even forget about Sasol. I think Sasol was one of the best performers. I mean, can you just work it out? From a 22 Rand share to 423. But for me, if you want to chase the momentum, yes, wait for that high above 433. Make use of a stop loss of 416.65, and yes, it can then go to 450. But for me, as we say in Afrikaans, mosterd na die maal. Mike is asking about British American tobacco, but not the one listed on the local index. He's looking for the one that's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Maybe he took some dollars out, and by the way, the rand is nice and strong now. Maybe he took that out now, and he says to himself, maybe I want to dabble a little bit in British American tobacco. First of all, Mike, just have a look here. This share had a beautiful rally. For me, the clue is the following. And I will say, there's my line. It gives me a symmetrical triangle. A symmetrical triangle, usually that breaks up to the top, is easily telling you that the share can maybe go higher. And maybe if it plays out to the full, it should go all the way to the previous high. Let's just do that. And I'll just show you where I get that from. There you are. Like, there's the projection. It's maybe a little bit higher than that. It can easily go back to $47 if it plays out in full. And what you will also like, you will say to me, Frans, but what I also like about the share is the following. There's a tiny resistance line here, and it needs to break above that resistance line to carry on going. Now, if you're an Elliott wave fanatic, you will say, some of the guys will say, oh, there's a beautiful on its way to a wave 5. No, I don't know. I'm not a boffin on Elliott waves, but what I will say is above 44.50, we can definitely see a nice move to the upside, and then it can maybe push all the way to the top. Only thing about Elliott waves, if you talk about that, I always say, where's the start of wave 1? And that is usually the problem. That's why this the Klerk always like about normal indicators with candlesticks. And I know I've got a friend that's a boffin in Elliott wave. He is so precise. He is doing that as a full-time study. He doesn't do anything else He just works out hours and daily levels, and I mean, he's absolutely brilliant. And sometimes we chat, and I just want to compliment Jan. Jan, thank you for your good work. I mean, it is exceptional. Well, Louis is asking about PayPal. Now, look, let's just have a look at this. I mean, this is the share price of PayPal, and it's a daily share price. I mean, it went from the top, there's the top, above 310. It's sitting now at 86.81, and the momentum for me is still clearly to the downside, but there's maybe early signs of a recovery happening here. And remember, the stock was being hammered for so long and for so much. I mean, it was just selling day in and day out. But let's have a look here. If I look at this higher lows that's developing here, that makes me a little bit positive. There you are. For me, 20 higher lows in the making. It tells me that there's a little bit of a recovery on the go here. And for me, it will be a buy above 90.30. Above 90.30, we'll see another higher low. And where's my stop loss? My stop loss will be 81.48. So 81.48, unfortunately, it can turn around. And remember, PayPal is also one of the players in the NASDAQ. And the PayPal share price just shows you it wants to turn around, maybe like Apple. And it's also one of those shares that can help the NASDAQ to go. But stick to your stop loss. I mean, but it really starts looking interesting above 93.47. And we can maybe see it maybe all the way back to that psychological level of 100. Tracy is asking about Hyatt Hotels. Now she wants to buy it, I think. But Tracy, I think if I look at the share, I mean, it's a lamp formation. It had a beautiful rally, I mean, from $80 to $95 in a matter of a few days. And what I pick up with Hyatt, and I want to maybe show you, you always keep that in mind. I always say that if I look at the chart wants to tell me a story. And what is the story of Hyatt? Hyatt Hotels got the tendency, if it rallies, it goes up in a straight line. And if there's some profit taking, it goes down in a straight line. There you are, up in a straight line, down in a straight line, up, down, and now you've got this beautiful rally. So for me, unless you haven't got the stock, I will not buy it. I will wait for a little bit of a pullback. Look at it. It rallied there. Then you can maybe play the momentum. For me, if I look at the chart all the way from 80 to 95, unfortunately for me, it's not a buy. In actual fact, I will get nervous if I've got the stock. I just want to get a level. There's a warning level for you. If you are a trader, first warning signal will be below 94.90, and I mean it needs to go to, there you are, the upward momentum on the go, and that will be 98.22. In actual fact, almost 100. So I see beautiful chart, but I mean, I think you may be too late. Maybe find something else in the sector that is maybe down and out before you just carry on and buying higher hotels. Maybe you're also a little bit late here. Tabo is asking about Microsoft. Now, Tabo, it almost looks like it is a similar kind of share than PayPal. It was just being hammered all the way, just going down and down and down. But what I like about it, at least, is the following. There's a little line. I'll tell you why I like that. You will hear my thoughts now. And there's something else on the boil here. After such a beautiful sell-off, what I like about the chart is that we're seeing a falling wedge. We saw that it broke the trend line. It looks like it wants to come and test that. To play safe, Tabo, I will wait for this little place there. There you are. I will wait for that. There's the level 275.40 before I will say that this falling wedge can maybe come into play and take it down up to almost 300. And where's my stop loss? My stop loss will be 268 in 267.23. That will be my stop loss. And I mean, if it goes up and it plays out, it will probably take the share to $290.67 or even $300. For me, I like the chart. And remember, again, Another strong player in the Nasdaq. So maybe the Nasdaq can maybe surprise us all and give a nice relief rally. Wow, what a performance. I mean, Astral Foods, we had this beautiful rally. I'm looking at this chart. Oh, I checked it before. A beautiful neckline. Oh, yes, I can remember the evening where I said there's maybe a head and shoulder, but that will not work out because it will take the share way down. Now, look at this share now. I mean, with this maize price that is strong, rand that weakened a little bit, that everybody is worried about food security. If I look at this chart, I mean, look at this beautiful rally. And we know now that Astral Foods is clever in buying maize at the right time. But maybe now, I mean, the maize price is just so high. Maybe they've got doubts here. But for me, beautiful rally. It's too late to buy. For me, it needs to get above that line. There you are. Oh, it's maybe a double top that's in the making here. So just be a little bit careful here. So I will say, I just want to draw this line in after such a beautiful rally. I mean, good money for the guys that's got it. Above this level of 193.80, we can maybe see a brand new spike, that magical level of 200. But if you've got the stock and you're happy with your profits, where's the first sign of weakness? It will be below 183.54. And remember, I know this is not a counter. It's one of those medium cap stocks. I mean, they all had beautiful rallies, but of course, maybe they offer great value, and that's why the investors pile into them. When I look at the share like that, I'm always nervous. I like a share that's doing that and then starting to make higher lows. That makes me optimistic. Unfortunately, not a Lampel formation. Well, thank you for watching the show. Please visit our website, www.fransklerk.com, for more info, and we will chat again.